Hi there, welcome once again. This is Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. As you can see, my room is absolutely empty because I'll be shifting tomorrow. In case you want to know what time is it, it is 12:56 a.m. 6th June 2012. It's a Wednesday morning and I have not yet slept. Anyway, by the way, what is this? This is a fly swatter. In case I get flies, I can hit them. Anyway, today's book review is Excuses Begone by Dr. Wayne Dyer. I happened to read this book around a few days ago. I'm just giving you the video review now. Now, I happened to read Dr. Wayne Dyer when I was only 16 years old. I think it was Your Erogenous Zones. It was truly an unbelievable book. I bought it, I read it, I think a couple of times, and I love the author. But after that, I purchased another book of his, A Gift from Ickis, and You'd See It When You Believe It. And then I started to get lost as to what was he trying to communicate. So somewhere along the line, in the past 16 years that I've grown, I have realized that Dr. Wayne Dyer, from being a scientific thinker, has moved to become as I call it, a speaker who speaks about spiritual nonsense, mythical garbage, and quantum physics, crap, absolute stuff that you cannot understand. In as much as I would love to thrash the book, I think I need to keep a pretty balanced opinion on both the sides. So let me give you the good, bad, ugly. Now, on the good side, Dr. Wayne Dyer is not just one of those people, those fakes like Rhonda Byrne, who just takes out the best from, a couple of positive thinking books and just puts it together and then starts marketing it like crazy just to make big money. Dr. Wayne Dyer is an incredibly well-read man. I mean, at one point he'll be talking of Tao Te Ching, and the next thing you know, he's speaking of verses from Bhagwad Gita, and then he'll be speaking from Henry David Thoreau, and then the Holy Bible. He takes out verses from there. So pretty well-read person. I have a lot of respect for that guy because he knows what he's talking. The second thing which I really respect the guy is he helps, or at least gives hope to people to get away from the habits of smoking, drinking, overeating, wasting their lives. He gives them a sense of direction, purpose. So, kudos to him. That is something that he's doing really well. And last but not the least, every book of his, he puts a lot of effort. It is not just, brushing things from the top. So, I feel the guy does it sincerely. Now, what is the bad and the ugly side? The bad, the ugly side, or rather the nonsensical side, is Wayne has a habit of cherry picking whatever he feels supports his point of view. Now, let's say the Holy Bible. It has the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. So what he does is he picks up one verse from one part of the Bible which supports his point of view and ignores the rest of the verses which may contradict his point of view. Then he takes a story from the Bhagwad Gita, which is supposed to be a mythical book of stories, and he quotes some quotation or something, and he expects the audience to buy what he's saying. And then, all he does is he expects you to believe what he says because he has cherry-picked from whichever book he has read. Now, the second thing which I really get irritated about is he keeps talking about being one with nature. He keeps talking about waking up in the morning and thanking the oneness of the universe, taking a swim in the pond and getting creative thoughts. Okay, very great. You're earning a lot of money, residual income from books, DVDs, CDs, tapes. So you can afford to take swims in the pond and go in the forest and not worry about tomorrow because, nature is going to give you the money or the universe is going to take care of you. So you can just keep giving. But these things apply, or these principles apply only to people who are doing really well. I mean, he's earning a lot of money. He has reached the point in his life where he's very successful. So does that mean everyone else has to follow his lifestyle? So I think this is where he really fails as a teacher. He has a lot of people looking up to him. He has a big hero worship clan. But then again, he's not very practical. He gives you all this Google gibberish that, stuff that does not make sense. He makes it as complex as possible while trying to sound as spiritual as possible, and expects people to solve their problems in their life. So overall review, if I were to say, Dr. Wayne Dyer belongs to this new age spiritual group, of speakers, authors, who give you these recycled, trivial thoughts. Attract the invisible, you will see it when you believe it. It's more like this guy Joe Vitale, who calls himself he has a doctorate in metaphysics, or like William James Craig, he's a doctor of theology. It sounds more like being a doctor of fairy tales. So they consider themselves experts in quantum physics, which nobody can understand. Like Deepak Chopra, attract the oneness of the universe and become one with creation and let it flow and blah blah, all that stuff. So all this hocus pocus stuff, which is not practical, it appeals to a wide audience. But then again, if you were to scientifically measure it, there's no way you can scientifically measure. So I believe that this book will appeal to these confused crackpots who are seeking spiritual answers, to give a reason as to why are we existing. And when they come out with some feel-good answer that sounds even more confusing than the actual problem, they will, start giving them a lot of hero worship. So if you're one of those people who believe there's a sky god somewhere, or gods somewhere who are watching you and giving you, magical blessings through their hands or something like that, I think Wayne Dyer will appeal to you. Otherwise, if you are a person who resorts to scientific thinking and reasoning and proof and evidence, I think this book is just a feel-good book that can be motivating, has a few good bits, but overall is a waste of time. So if I had to rate this book, I would just give it a 3 out of 10, and I would advise you, if anything else, if you want to just feel positive or know something about a guy who has read a lot of books from Tao Te Ching to Bhagwad Gita, well, read it. Otherwise, avoid it at all costs. So it's only a 3 out of 10. So that, my friend, is Dr. Wayne Dyer's Excuses Begone book. And this is Loy Machedo, sleepy, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Bye.